Why is it so hot? Hello, hello, humans of the world, and welcome to my kitchen. Thank you so much for tuning in with me because I am so excited to share this episode with you guys today. We are making something that hits a little close to home. We are making jerk oyster mushroom burgers. I know. What do I know? I don't know. The method that I found for cooking these oyster mushrooms came from a chef who featured on a YouTuber's page called Avant-Garde. And essentially what it is cooking your oyster mushrooms in clusters in a cast iron skillet and compressing it and flipping it until it gets to that point where it's flattened and turned into this really delicious meaty texture. And I actually made my own jerk sauce just for you guys. I'm sharing my recipe, you're welcome, but I put a little twist to it. I add a little sweet to it just to cut the spicy in case you can't handle it, because right now your girl hasn't had spice in a long time and she probably can't handle it herself. So, anywho, let's jump in. So the next thing you're going to want to have on hand is some fresh Jamaican callaloo. You can probably find some callaloo at a local West Indian shop or even an Asian market. Definitely get your hands on some of this callaloo if you can. If you cannot find this, you could substitute it with baby spinach. Just keep in mind it is going to be a little bit more bitter than like the sweetness that you get from the callaloo. Once you do get your callaloo, make sure you thoroughly wash it and you're going to need to strip it. The reason why you have to strip it is because, kind of like celery, it has a lot of stringy pieces. You want to strip those because when you cut it up and cook it down, you don't want those pieces getting stuck in your teeth or like all over your mouth. And to a pan, we're going to throw in some olive oil, some diced onions, some minced garlic, and then we're going to saute that for a little bit. Then we're going to add in some diced tomato, and then we'll add in our callaloo as well. We're going to cook that down. Periodically add some water just to help it steam down and cook thoroughly, because you don't want this to burn. You want it to be a bit of like that wet texture. We're also going to throw in some plantain. That's right, guys, plantain, not plantain. I know y'all don't go around saying mountain. You say mountain. It's plantain. Coconut oil would definitely be the best option for cooking your plantain, but whatever oil you have on hand could work perfectly as well. So we're just going to cook that until both sides are golden on a medium to low heat. We're also going to make some homemade French fries. I just sliced up some yellow potatoes into French fry forms, and then I drizzled some olive oil, salt and pepper on top and toss them into a baking pan. We're going to throw them in the oven at 400 degrees as well for a total of 20 minutes while periodically tossing and mixing our fries to ensure that they do not burn and that they're evenly cooked throughout. So for your jerk sauce, these are the ingredients you're going to need to have on hand. You're going to want to have a handful of fresh scallion, some fresh thyme, half a yellow onion, some ginger, some garlic, 3 Scotch bonnet peppers, some brown sugar, a bit of browning sauce. You're going to want to put in a tablespoon of white vinegar, fried oregano, and I like to use peppercorns for this recipe rather than ground pepper. So the twist that I'm adding on this jerk sauce is adding a bit of pineapple. For our jerk sauce, we're just going to throw all of our ingredients into a blender. We are going to be heating up some olive oil in a cast iron skillet. We are going to add our cluster of oyster mushrooms to the hot pan, place another pan on top of the oyster mushrooms just so that it can be compressed, and as it gets a really nice golden color on the one side, we're going to flip it. I flipped it about 4 times just to ensure that it was thoroughly cooked and to ensure that it really got that meaty texture throughout. So in order to coat our delicious oyster mushroom in our jerk sauce, we're just gonna pour some jerk sauce in a saucepan, heat it up, dip the cooked oyster mushroom into the jerk sauce, making sure that it is evenly coated. We're gonna throw it back into the skillet and then into the oven at 400 degrees for a total of 15 minutes while flipping in between. Alright, humans of the world, now that everything is cooked up, it is time to stack our burger. So I just quickly toasted my buns in the same skillet that the oyster mushrooms were cooked in, just because there was still some olive oil left inside and there was also a little bit of that jerk sauce, and it just kind of crusted so perfectly on these buns. So what you guys are gonna wanna do to stack this burger is, first off, let's start with this beautiful oyster mushroom slab. Look at that. And then we're gonna add some of our plantain on top. We're just gonna throw on some of that callaloo. And last but not least, some avocado. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, my delicious jerk oyster mushroom burger. My mom would be so proud of me. So proud. And I am so excited to eat this. Humans of the world, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I had so much fun making this burger, and I really hope you all get a chance to try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think about this recipe. Is it a must? Is it a not? Is it something you'll try? Is it something you'll just watch and salivate and wish you couldn't do it, but you can, but you don't want to? Let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe, you beautiful humans of the world. Take care. Arrivederci. Ciao. Why is it so hot? Oh, I can't eat the burger, so I have to take pictures of it. Okay.